So, guys, I'll unmute for a few minutes. We're just waking. Okay, sorry about that. I'll unmute for just a minute. Uh, yeah, everybody's just kind of waking up over here. I've been up for a little while and saw his little Chatsburg and saw that he mentioned me giving Huckleberry money, and I can't chat in his chat because he hates my guts with a passion. So I thought I would come live and just have a little chat off with him. Uh, but yeah, so it's just kind of a quiet morning, and I might unmute here in a little while. Like I said, I got some you know real stuff to do other than like unlike him sit and cry on the internet all fucking day about whatever the fuck he's crying about. He turned his chat off. Oh. What a fucker. He's ruining our fun. But yeah, Brian, the deal is because it's just too long to type. Okay, so the thing is with the valve, all right, in the kitchen, we have insanely high water pressure that comes from the city side. Okay, I want to say it's supposed to be probably around like fuck, I don't remember what the code says. Probably like 16 to 20 psi or something like that. If I had to guess, I would say that it's because I've never measured it, but I would say it's probably around 25 to 29 psi. It's like, and listen, this is not something to bitch about, although, I guess it's considered hard water, extremely hard water. I personally, I like that kind of water pressure because of over the years, the decades, there's water savers and everything now, and well, there has been for many years. Um, and I get dirty when I work, so I like to get clean when I take a shower. Um, so I usually have to modify all my plumbing that I put in some form or fashion. But in this house, it's kind of not like that because the supply side is, uh, you know, provides so much pressure. But the deal is, okay, this house has been remodeled probably like 30 years ago, and there's been some like a water heater was added on one side of the house, and I believe a shower was added um, on that same side, and I think they moved around the washing machine and the dryer. So in other words, the laundry, you know, fixtures at least. So, which is pretty much inconsequential. It doesn't matter, but because you don't get hot water from the city side, that comes from within the home. So the deal is like Voodoo likes the water temperature to be hot, hot. Which is good for like your dishwasher and then, her, washing up and all that stuff. And I like to take hot showers in the winter as well. Um, but uh, regulating the like the balance between the temperature and the pressure when you have high water pressure like that, you need to use the supply valves under your fixtures to kind of maintain that balance. And the plumbing in the kitchen has been out of balance uh, since we've been here, and uh, just recently, even though I've installed a dishwasher, I've installed or replaced what's that damn thing called? No, well, yeah, the ice maker, but the disposal, the garbage disposal. I just haven't fucked with it, and this winter I keep burning myself with trying to wash my hands, and I'm like, fuck, I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. And plus, when you would turn on when you're washing dishes, I mean, this thing, it's so fucking sensitive. It would just, even though I have aerators in it and all that, it would just, water goes everywhere and you have to clean it up constantly. And it's just a pain in the dick. So finally I was like, okay, I'm taking care of this shit. And it's been, a couple of years since I did the disposal and the dishwasher. And, now I remember when I was messing with it yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That valve won't close. So it's not leaking, but the valve seat inside of it is bad. So I might as well just replace the valve. It's not a big job. It's not that big of a deal. Um, so, but it is, that wasn't on her honey-do list. Like I said, I got the most current honey-do list done yesterday. So this is on my to-do list because, I just want to make it. Did you just see Voodoo? She'll go in there and like barely turn the water on, and she's trying to rinse stuff off, and it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that way. So, and like I said, that kind of water pressure is not something that you bitch about because it's great. I've lived other areas around this city, and the water pressure has been fucking horrible, and so I'm not complaining about it at all. But so yeah, I need to replace that valve if I want to get what I want, which is reasonable water pressure with reasonable temperatures, and turning the supply valves top side, relatively like parallel and concentric with each other and stuff. Hot. You don't want the hot all the way on and barely turn the cold on, and you don't want the opposite. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's for. Um, let's see. Morning, Dirt Guy, Betty, Brian. Uh, who else is in here? Leroy. Let's see. He's talking away in there. All right, let me see what's going on. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like he ended that live stream. It says this video is unavailable. So let me get rid of that. Hang on. Give me just 1 second, guys. So let me get rid of this. Did he go live somewhere else? Let me see. Let me open a new window. Where you at, buddy? Where you at, Rebs? I don't see him live anymore. Looks like he ended his stream. We've got messages. I don't see his stream. It looks like he ended it. Yeah, I don't see it. I'll keep my eye out. Good morning. Morning Beach. I'm no plumber, but have you used the how to use a hot glue gun tutorial to fix your pressure issue? That's so funny. Yeah, I will be using now Rebel didn't put this on his stream. I had to Google this. I will be using a MAP gas torch, some flux, and some silver solder to replace that valve and quote unquote hot glue it back onto the water line. And then I'll be able to regulate the pressure a little bit better. Um, maybe I should give him a hot glue gun. And actually, we shouldn't say hot glue gun, guys. It's a well, I guess that is a hot glue gun. So I was going to say it always cracks me up when people say hot water heater because it's like, what do you need a hot water heater for? It's a water heater. It's not a hot water heater. I heat wood sometimes with cold water is 125 to heat with wood sometimes my cold water is 125 to 130 degrees. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, he was chatting it up, man. He was going to town. He's got all these crazy conspiracy theories, and then he went silent. His silent stream, his silent chat Spurg stream chat went silent. I don't know what you call that. Morning, sugar crits. But yeah, do that, and then I think I started my laundry. And if Voodoo's probably, I don't know, she probably may. She's been working a whole lot lately, and so I don't know if she'll have anything that she'll need help with today. I'm sure there'll be maybe something I can help her with. Um, but she's sitting right here. But like I said, we're just waking up. But if she's got anything for me that hopefully doesn't take too long, it occurred. Hopefully, it occurs before 2 p.m. because that's when football starts. There's only 2 games today for me to watch, so and hopefully neither one of them suck. Spurg spam, yeah, exactly. Yeah, dirt guy, definitely a glue gun. He is glueless, that's for sure. Brian, I much prefer soldered on copper. Not a fan of PEX or shark bite. I can live with pressure collar, brass fittings, but soldered is my go-to. It is mine. It's mine too. Betty Boop said good morning, honey. Oh, tell her I said good morning. She said good morning. Yeah, I prefer it as well, only because it's like the most rudimentary, basic thing. And I'm glad it's not dying because of tankless water heaters and like cold environments because those are all plumbed in with copper and so I'm glad it's not something that the industry is trying to phase out, although a lot of newer homes down here are built that way with PEX. But I'm not a shark bite fan either. There's just not enough. Well, and I was going to say there's a lot of times there's just not enough room. Like you've got to do a little more demo for that newer technology than I personally like to do. Um, Plumbers won't fix that shit. They'll just demo it, knock holes, cut holes, make a mess, and fix your plumbing issue. And then they're like, okay, get fucked. Call a whoever to fix the rest of it. And I'm more Brian like you. I'm more on the handyman side where it's like I can't live with myself. Like, if I have to cut a fucking hole in the sheetrock to fix the plumbing issue, well, then I have to fix the fucking hole in the sheetrock. And I don't know, man. That's just me, but thank God I don't do that shit for a living. But that's why I prefer, and plus a lot of the stuff that I work on, not just in this house. This house was built in the '70s, but um, my last well, I mean, in the past 30 years, or 25 years, I've had three homes. One was built in 2001. One was built the other two were built in 63. So those two, everything was copper. Even the one that was built in 2001, everything was copper. Um, so I just, and then, neighbors and friends and stuff that I've worked on their stuff. Um, has been copper for supply, so I just prefer it. Um, I prefer it. We do have some PEX in this house, and one of the fittings broke last winter, last a year ago, Um, I don't know how it happened. The only thing I can think is because of the extreme, like the pressure and the hard water. Because we do get calcium deposits that we have to stay on top of because of that. Um, that's the only thing I can think because it was a fitting and it was on an internal wall um, in a bathroom. But like I said, it wasn't external; it was internal. So um, when I found it the leak and I found it was PEX, I was like, "Fuck!" And I'm thinking, well, I mean, I've plumbed in PEX a little bit here and there over the years since it's been out, and I thought, well, let me run down to good old Home Depot. And I'm like, okay, I found everything I needed except the crimping tool. And they were like, yeah. They go, we don't carry that. We carry that online. I said, well, y'all have a tool rental here. Y'all don't rent it? He goes, oh no. And I said, well, how much is it? He goes, $3,500. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So luckily, I know a guy who knows a guy, and he came over and took care of it. And only charged us like $150 or $200 to do it. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the PEX myself. In the future, if it ever comes back down to that, I will certainly weld something together. To make my own crimping tool because electricians have interesting crimping tools that looks like you could kind of modify the jaws and make that shit work. So yeah, fuck that $3,500 bullshit. Um, that's a bunch of crap. That's the industry's way of pushing do-it-yourselfers out. They do that shit on a lot of things, really, not just plumbing. He's got a live set on Mass Troll Report. Okay. Oh, that was the one he was just on, I thought. My home has no hot side in the walls. We use what's called suicide heated at the shower. It sits on the shower head and plugged into the outlet nearby to fun. Oh my goodness. I've never even heard of that. That sounds interesting. What they have for pressure at the hydrant, it's a better indicator. Cheap PEX is used with crimp on pressure joints. Yeah. I believe on this one, Brian, it was, I want to say it was where the PEX met the copper, is where it sprung a leak. That's why I think that shower on that side of the house. I don't know. I would have to see the original plans of this house. The people that lived here before that had the house built, like they had some interesting remodel stuff done to it. Um, and I'm not an expert plumber, so it's a little bit difficult for me to like trace the stuff back. I mean, the remodel they had done, they did a for what it was at the time, like in the 90s or whatever when they did it, or maybe late 80s. Like whoever did it did a really good job for the most part. The electrical work is fucking phenomenally immaculate in this place, and actually really complex for what they had in here at the time. Um, so it's like really well done, but I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to look at it and tell. Well, did they did they have this room as something else? And so I don't know. I'd have to see the original drawings. But interesting. I geek out on shit like that. It drives Voodoo crazy. She can't stand the fact that I'll walk around the house with a laser thermometer and check the temperature of things and stuff like that. See, in mobile homes, I would save homeowners money on heat tape and shit by running 3/4 inch main lines through the main heating duct. In the winter, it kept the water in the lines warm. Yeah. Well, see, I wouldn't think that they would have too much of a problem with that here in trailers because pretty much like, well, yeah, I guess if you have a water heater centrally located in the trailer, then there's always a there's usually a bathroom at either end of it. If it's like a 60 to 80 foot long trailer, so I guess yeah, you would want that. That makes sense. What's he doing? Has he gone live again? Let me see. Let me check up on our little buddy. Yep, he's live again. I'll spare y'all his crappy intro. Oh, he's got his chat opened up. Look at him showing me up. Fucking retard. Now he'll have to. Now he'll have to unblock everybody if he wants them to go over there and chat. That might be too big of a step for him right now. He might be. He might be too emotionally upset, triggered to.
Is he whining because it's his birthday?
Yes, he is whining because he's saying that. Well, earlier he was saying. Let me see here. Let me see if I got the right one. Okay, that's the right one. Get this down. Let me come back over here. Let me do this or this. Oh, I haven't added it yet. There's our little buddy. Yeah, he's watching us. I don't know. He's a weirdo.
But you're watching him.
I'm a weirdo.
Okay.
Did y'all hear her? She just tried to. I
I
don't know.
didn't try, I did.
I don't know what she just did.
I called you out in your hypocrisy.
Oh, she called me out of my hypocrisy. Hang on. Give us some laughers. Hang on. Hang on. All right. Let me see. Let me go. Oh, I can only share one at a time. I can't share both. That sucks. Wait, what's going on? Yep, you. Yep, by you're doing commentary. All right, let me see if he's saying anything. Nope. Reb's birthday with no bud. Doesn't matter if he does commentary or not. Uh, no bud birthday. Happy birthday. Unhappy birthday there, Rebel. Let me hang on, let me put his chat up. Let's see, I gotta get this back. Okay, stop sharing that. Ugh, this is so difficult. So cumbersome. Hang on a second. I gotta find this. I gotta go back. I'll go forward. There we go. Look, y'all, he's gonna make me share his Cash App on my channel. Yeah, that'll work, buddy. Let's see. Okay, there's that. Let me. Okay, that bigger. There's green. This one. No, this one. This one. There we go. Add that. Is that good enough, you guys? You see his chat? Oh yeah. Here. Here I'll put. Yes, beach. It would be. It would be. There you go. Yes, but dude, switch your YouTube to night dark mode. Which one? The chat. His chat. I don't even know how to do that, Brian. How do I do that, buddy? It doesn't even it. I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with the way that it is? Like, I'm looking at it. Oh, look, he turned off subscribers only mode. Nice, but he's still got live commentary on. Let's see. He's not talking. All right, appearance, device theme, dark theme. That'll probably fuck everything up. How about that? Is that better? Hello, is that better? Any better? Oh, the chat, right? Okay, gotcha. Oh, reload the chat. Oh, God. Remove. Let me go find the stupid chat. Good lord. Uh oh. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Okay. over here. Share screen. Blah, blah, blah. These. Yes, that is a Great Pyrenees. Um, that his name was Harvey. All right, so let me add this. Oh, that didn't come out how I wanted it. Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't know what he's chatting over there. I wonder if I'm blocked.
I don't know why you wonder.
A Great Pyrenees? You just adopted a Great Pyrenees? Oh, they are great dogs. I loved my Harvey, but he was batshit crazy. That dog was something else. I tell you, he was loud and proud. So they say, loudest dog in the fucking neighborhood. But I did love him. Voodoo loved him. Abby would have probably hated him. Maybe not hated, but she probably definitely would have tried to bite him. Like at least once. Every dog did. Yeah. He was in bad shape. My dog is the same. I was going to ask about personalities. Well, Harvey was the only Pyrenees I've ever had experience with. Um, he was a couple years old when I got him. I also got him out of a shelter. Um, and the shelter had him listed as a Pyrenees because of his dew claws, which is like a telltale sign, right? But we kept thinking, like, I don't know, because well, they had shaved him, and I guess it had been a while. Well, anyways, we had some really bad storms here back then. This was like around 2013 or 14, somewhere around there, and there was like massive flooding, and he got lost from his family. They had him chipped. Well, I guess they didn't want him back. And that was all the information they would give us. They wouldn't give us their names, any of that stuff. So, we adopted him and took care of all of that. And he was only. I've got pictures I can post later of him when he was just a puppy. I say puppy. He was younger and not as big. Um, at least not as hairy. And he looked like a lab, really, is what he looked like with dew claws. And then over time, he did fill out and gain some weight, and then of course that hair came in, and but he was very protective, extremely smart, but extremely stubborn. So like all the stuff that I've read about Pyrenees, he was that. The only thing, the only issue that I had with him, well, there were two. That motherfucker, he was I don't know how to explain it. When you put him on a leash, he would go. He'd behave about 95% of the time. But if you were out walking with him on a leash, and I mean, it could be anything. It could be a fucking bird flying in the air. It could be a box truck driving by in the distance. It could be a guy on a wheel in a wheelchair, like off in the distance. This motherfucker, he may or may not lose his shit, but when he would lose his shit, he would lose his shit. I mean, it was, and the other thing was too was that other dogs, other dogs would see him and just instantly want to attack him. I don't know what the fuck it was. He was just a big goofball, really, uh, for the most part. But and then because I don't know, I had a trainer one time tell me that it was because of his lack of self confidence. I don't know. I did put him through obedience training, and it worked for the most part, except for the shit with the leash with him with taking him on walks on a leash. That was a fight. He was just stubborn as hell. He wanted to pull, and he would and I had him for like 7 years. He would see it. Another dog would be behind a fence or something, and he would start backing up. He would put his ass in between your legs and just plant his feet and literally push against you until he got in between your legs to like basically upend you with your end of the leash. Like it was crazy. He could do it quick too. I'm telling you, it was a fucking fight. But everything that I had read about Pyrenees, he was that, with the exception of those three things. I mean, and as far as people went, he either loved them or he didn't like them. It just depended on who it was. Yeah. Let's see. I had a boxer. Let's see. Well, yeah, you don't shave him, but he, like I said, he was younger, and I think the reason that they shaved him was because of those storms. And when he ended up in the shelter, um, his hair was so matted, and he was so in mud and dirt and everything. And I remember those floods were fucking bad, man. I mean, I haven't. I've been here my whole life, and I don't recall ever seeing flooding like that that we were having that year. So that's, if I had to guess, that's my guess as to why they shaved him. But yeah, I never gave him another haircut. I would take him to the groomer every once in a while for like his claws and stuff. Like especially his dew claws, because you don't want those to get long, because they are active. They are active dogs. Like he loved to play. He loved to run. He loved to play fetch. He liked to play tug of war. We had two cats as well that he was very protective of them. Um, and like I said, super smart. I mean, he understood what you were telling him. I could stand. He'd want to go out in the backyard. I'd let the cats would want to go out, and I would tell him, Harvey, watch him, and he would stay right there by him like they were his little sheep. And he wouldn't let anything happen to him, and he wouldn't let him run off. And then the one black and white Oreo cat that I have on my channel, Baron, he would get a little brave every once in a while and kind of start heading towards the fence, and Harvey would get up and go hurt him back. He would get up and get in front of him, and Baron would kind of cower down and then head back to the house. But like I say, he was super smart, and for the most part, really, really obedient. I would have loved to have been able to like have him hop up in the back of the truck and ride in the bed with me to go places. He would hop in the cab and go, but all of that hair, god damn, man! Listen, you that is a shitload of fucking hair with those dogs. Um, a shitload. I mean, I vacuumed our house, if not every day, every other day with that dog, because he constantly. You didn't wear black. You didn't wear black in my house. He was There was just so much hair. Uh, Fuck, I had to change the air filter literally like every 2 weeks. Well, these cats, Brian, these were indoor cats, and the Oreo cat, he had ventured out one time and he got attacked by but I don't know what. It was either a bird of prey or possibly a beaver. I have no idea. Uh, and it took him like 2 or 3 months to heal from the wounds and the emotional scars. And after that, they would want to go outside. They want to go like chill out in the grass for a few minutes, and then they would want to come back in. But yeah, they wouldn't. They were indoor cats, not outdoor cats. So we would let all three of them out. Well, shit, dude. If the dog wanted to go outside, the cats wanted to go outside. They wanted to go hang out. Um, let's see. Is anything happening in his chat? I'm like way behind in my own stream. I, I'm a wreck. Let's see. I gotta try to keep up with you guys on this. Okay, I'm going back to the other side. Is nobody chatting over there, or is he just? Let's see. Wait a minute, I hear something. I think he, I think he was meowing or something. That was weird. What the fuck? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, let me try to get back to what you guys were saying. Yeah, he would never showed up. We tried everything. Finally, resorted to a shock collar. Oof! Did it hurt after you tried it on yourself? My dad uses those on his dogs. It's to keep them out of certain because he's on like 2 acres or 3 acres or something where the dogs are. They've got that much room to run around, and yeah, he uses it to keep them away from the fences because they would dig and they would try to get out. So he does he has collar like shock collars that he'll put on them when they're getting out of control with the barking. But he has an electric fence that if they go up right next to that fence, it'll shock them to keep them from digging out. But he doesn't keep like they can bark and shit, but they just don't. If they go near that fence, which they don't anymore, they used to, but it only took them a couple of times. They were like, "Fuck that! Oh, what happens when I go over there?" But let's see. No, you're no worries, Hummer Muffin. It's cool. I loved Harvey. I love talking about dogs. Um, oh, barely more than a vibrating feeling. Okay, yeah, yeah. I would when I was the trainer that I took Harvey to. I also had taken years and years ago. I had a Dane Mastiff mix named Duke, and we took him to that place. Like 15 years before or whatever, and what they did choke chain training, uh, and I don't know. To us, it seemed like that worked, and it was because you don't keep the choke chain on them all the time, and you don't choke them. Obviously, it's more of a suggestion than it is a verb, I guess. Hey, Ed, um, and it worked really well for Duke, and for the most part, it worked really well for Harvey, except for, like I said, the pulling on the fucking leash. Like he never got over that. I don't. I think it's like a male dominance thing. But if Aspen is a female, then I don't know. Maybe it's just a breed thing. I don't know. Because when we got him back from training, he wouldn't do any of those behaviors with me. But my ex, he would push her around, um, and I felt like she was dominant with him. So I don't know. He just did. He was no respecter of women. That's basically what my conclusion was with Duke. He just, for whatever reason, he wouldn't pull that shit with me, but he would pull it with women. And Harvey was the same way. And I never know what to make of it either, because I see, like, I was at Lowe's a couple weekends ago, and this woman walked in, and she had two large breed dogs, working dogs, and one was male and one was female, and they were just as well behaved as. I thought, man, that makes me jealous, because none of my dogs, I couldn't do that with any of my dogs. Like, they would go batshit fucking crazy, you know. Except Abby. Abby, I mean, she's so tiny, you could just about put her like in a little, like a papoose or something, and carry her around. She wouldn't be a menace. But she's a Westie, so I mean, you know,
Totally different temperament.
totally different. Yeah, different logistically and temperamentally. Well, guys, it's 8 o'clock, and I guess Spurgalicious isn't gonna. Is he doing anything? What are you doing, Spurgy? He was meowing behind the street. He's just playing a cold wind blowing. Yeah, it's all in what you give off. They have to see you as the alpha. They have to believe you are way above them in the pack. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Um, yeah, I don't know. Harvey had Harvey had drugged me to the ground one time. We got attacked by another dog. Well, Harvey got attacked, and of course I'm at the other end of the leash. And by Harvey getting attacked, then I got attacked and drugged to the ground. And then it was a wrestling match to just hold Harvey off of that other dog, because Harvey would have killed that dog. Um, I mean, he was trying to kill that dog. And so, yeah, I was really careful after that, like really super. Like, I would only walk Harvey at like 4:30 in the fucking morning when nobody was out. I wouldn't walk him during the day. Um, the only time I took him places was if I took him to the vet or the. I had at the time I lived right by a junior high school, and there was a high school not too far away. So it would depend. There was always people that wanted to go walk around the track, but the junior high had it had a really large field next to it, uh, that was just nothing but a field, that they would keep mowed, but there was never any events or anything like that on it. So I'd walk him over there, but I wouldn't walk him to the place. I would drive over there with him in the truck to see if there was anybody around, and then if there wasn't, then I would take him. And in times like that, I could let him off his leash and take his rope bone and throw his rope bone for him real far, and he'd grab it and come back, and and he would obey then. But if another dog came around or another person or anything like that, forget that shit. All bets were off. He wouldn't just go attack. That wasn't his thing. Um, it was always somebody If somebody wanted to pet him, I would tell him, I would say, okay, don't stick your hand out, you know, just, and don't be nervous, don't, you just be, and because Harvey would get nervous and he would start chattering his teeth, and I was always worried that he was going to bite or nip somebody. Now he did nip my ex-wife in her butt twice, on two separate occasions. Uh, so I don't know what that was about, but uh, yeah, but that's just the way he was. Let's see. You love Caesar Milan's philosophy on training. People think he is a flake, but every technique of his worked. My wife and I tried worked 100%. Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot of Caesar over the years, but I do know that that sound that he makes for no, or it's just like an expression of like, I don't like that whatever you're doing, dog. That sound he makes, that is very effective. Um, and interestingly enough, just on that topic of like those people on television or whatever, uh, Jackson Galaxy with cats, like that dude knows what the fuck he's talking about and what he's doing with those cats. Uh, just watching that guy on television and employing some of the things that he would state and philosophies and just facts about cats that we employed on our cats worked 110 fucking percent, man. I mean, it changed. We didn't have bad relationships with the cats, but I've had a cat that I had a bad relationship with in the past years, many years ago, and I wished I would have known just half of what I learned watching him years later when I had that cat. And I can't imagine, our time together would have been a hell of a lot less stressful for both of us, you know. So there's definitely stuff to be taken and learned from positively from that kind of media. But yeah, I don't know about Caesar being a flake. Like I said, to me, the stuff that I've seen and that I've kind of had experience with, it's definitely worked and it's effective. Obviously, there's a hell of a lot more of what goes into what they put on TV into what he does. But you heard I paid to ruin Connie's birthday. You know what, Sugar Crits? I got a deal. It was a hell of a deal. You wouldn't believe it. It's a means of snapping them out of whatever they are fixated on. Dogs are very driven by attention and fixation. An alpha wolf will make his sound or nip a lower wolf to wait or nip a lower wolf to snap them out of it. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. We got this birthday. Um, we got this birthday ruined for. We actually got a discount on it. It was a hell of a deal. I don't even want to say how much it was because it'll just make you sick. Like compared to the prices that we normally have to pay people in the community to fuck Connie's shit up. I mean, it just wouldn't be right to the other people. You know what I mean? For me to say how much I paid, um, because then they might, feel compelled to have to lower their prices. But we want to make sure, as the financiers of Connie's shitty life, that everybody gets, gets what they believe their time and effort is worth. Um, and it's really a privilege when people in the community that we pay cut us a break and give us a deal, like a discount, like you're a loyal customer of ours. You know what I mean? Um, and we appreciate your patronage, so they'll cut us a deal every once in a while, but we don't like to put out, how much they give us off, because we always take that money too and we put it back in. It's kind of like it's kind of like uh, small business Friday after, or small business Monday after Black Friday. You know what I mean? Like, you want to put your money back into your community instead of like giving it away to, like the general fuckery of the rest of the country and not in your own community. Yeah, Connie, BTC even got the front page of the New York Times real cheap for the day. Do not donate to the sky, a flyer with your pig. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see what he's saying. Can y'all hear that? Let me know if you can hear it. I don't know if y'all can hear him. Okay, hang on. Can,
Fuck out of here. It's just a mistake.
can you hear him
No,
now?
it's not. You knew what the fuck you were doing. All those people know what the fuck they're doing. Let me tell you all. If they're, if they hold something against somebody over their head like that, like somebody else doxing somebody, you can damn well be sure these people planned that shit out.
Yeah, sweet. You can
That's why they
damn
tried
well
to
be
pawn
sure.
off Katie's personal information to me first, because they were hoping that I was the one that was going to take the blame for this shit. That's what they were hoping. They were hoping that I was going to get some sort of fucking, uh, you know, charge or somebody dragging me to court over this shit, or they were going to use it to their benefit against me or something. And then they skipped right past me. And what did they do? They went right after right after Sweet, didn't they? They used it against Sweet, weaponized it against her, and now she's the one who has to be brought to court over their fucking stupid shit, right?
What is she going to court for, by the way? I can't keep up with
And those same people are
all
working
this
together to cancel me
tomfuckery.
out. And I know because I'm on the end of being canceled out. So, I mean, I think I know who the fuck is canceling me out. And all these same fucking people are working together. Like, call me crazy. I'd say these fucking people are setting me and Sweet the fuck up. Like, do people realize, like, it would have been in more of my benefit if I would have actually sold her out, right?
Does it never
And if
occur
I
to
would have
these
done it, I
people
would
to
have done
not
it years
violate court
ago.
orders?
And I did
Asking
not.
for a friend.
You fuckers did. I'm not the one dragging her to court. Nothing that I did has anything to do with dragging her to fucking court. It's your fucking idiots, these fucking stupid fuckers, stupidity that is causing it. And they still aren't the same fucking people helping her out with her legal fees, are they? Like, they don't give a shit about helping her out with her legal fees, but they'll sure sit there and fucking pretend to help her, though, won't they? They don't give a fuck about you, Sweet. I'm probably the only motherfucker out here, one of the only few people who actually cared about her these past few years. And you fucks actually turned us against each other. How many fucking times? And she probably, like, has taken these people's word over mine like so many fucking times. And how much has it just gotten us in more issues than it's done us any fucking good? I don't know. Like, you guys tell me, is like your loyalty worth being brought to court for these fucks? They're worth it enough to be dragged to fucking court where they get to sit on their fucking ass and brag about the shit that they bought for their fucking dog or some fucking shit, or they can brag about the shit that they bought for their kids, or they can brag about how this is just fucking YouTube and it doesn't bother them because they're not getting in their fields. And by the way, they're not gatekeeping, so they're not going to tell anyone where to go after all.
So something to do with Bird. I think I'm positive though. Setting.
But what do they gain by doing that? What's the one thing they gain by pushing that fucking narrative or those bullshit narratives? They get Sweet
Rebel
to be cornered, to be left in the dark, so that nobody takes up for her who really gives a fuck.
Have either
I'm
of
in the
you
dark
ever
here.
thought
I'm
about
canceled
not
out. So,
violating
basically,
court orders?
we're vulnerable as shit. So of course they're going to benefit. Of course they're going to gain from this, especially if they're taking money from people who are just basically, enabling people like Bird in the first place. And what better excuse but to use that they are enemies with the motherfucker? It's the same kind of tactic that Andrew uses when he says he's not friends with Tonic, when we know he is, but they'll just play this fucking bullshit virtue signal game to try to make people believe a certain narrative, so therefore nobody fucking questions it.
Guys, are
so
the
then
volume
nobody
levels
looks for the
okay?
fucking evidence or proof regarding what the fuck is really going on.
Like
That's
the
what the
mic
fuck is happening.
His volume. Do I need to turn one or the other up or down?
We are being bombarded
Okay, cool.
by information, bullshit fucking information, and have been for the past few years. And that's the only way these people are able to get away with what they've been doing for the past few years to us, is by just pushing off this fucking slew of information that's just fucking bullshit information every fucking day to as many people as they possibly can, paying off as many people as they can so that they can eventually get what they want. Which is, you think that it's, simple task, but it's a lot harder to cancel someone out than you think it is. It takes a lot of effort, sometimes even years. Ain't that right, Bird?
Oh, God, this guy. So, like,
They think to be the weak or the vulnerable, and they'll go after them first and target them first to get in their fucking heads. And that's how they get as much leverage as they have. It's just they get in through those people first, and then through those people, that's how they get through the rest of them. It's just, you get through one weak person's mind, you're getting to the rest of them. Like, that's just how it works. One idiot falls for some bullshit, the next idiot will fall along with it. And it's the same fucking cycle that has been playing along for the past fucking few years. And you dumbasses have never been able to pull your head out of your fucking asses since. Like, literally.
there's nothing.
They'll blame everything but. They'll even blame me grifting as if me coming on here asking for donations is the reason why
They'll
things
even
are the way
blame
they
you
are.
grifting.
Like, no, that's just because you guys are fucking idiots and you haven't been able to take your head out of your fucking asses.
You haven't gotten off your ass to get a job, so you don't have to be a e-begging grifter bum. How about them apples? There it is. Fucking retard.
And just so people know, I'm the only one who stands by these words I say. Sweet never told me to say this shit. She probably doesn't support me even saying this shit. Honestly.
Right.
So if people are going to try to blame her some shit, don't, because I chose myself, because it's my birthday and motherfuckers fucking me over.
That's about
as
believable as you not having anything.
So I'm going to call it the fuck out.
Boxing.
Like, nobody speaks for me. And so on Sweet's behalf, like, I apologize, because I know, like, she wants support and she doesn't want this sort of shit before her court date. But still, I'm sick of this shit being pushed to the side for years and nobody takes notice as to, like, what's really fucking going on. Because I'm telling you guys, if I'm being canceled to the degree that I am, and I'm telling you I am,
you are.
All these fucking people, a lot of these people are working together. I can't say all of them, but a lot of these fucking people from all these sides are helping each other. And these same people are inadvertently helping people like Bird and Andrew anyway. whether they're being paid off to or whether they're being threatened or what, I don't fucking know. Whether it has to do with Joe Cool, whether it has to do with me, I don't fucking know exactly. All I know is me and fucking Sweet have been set up for fucking years, and we have been continue to be set up, and that's exactly what the fuck is going on. And she might think these same people support her. I'm telling you they don't. Because if they don't support me at all, and they don't, and I swear to God they don't, I'm telling you there's something weird going on. And it's not just to do with me asking for donations. It's not just to do with my behavior. It's not just to do with the words I say on here or doxing or anything like that. I'm telling you that the majority of these people have been targeting us for years.
Yeah. He's gonna shit his britches when he finds out that Ellen's been paying us to pay the rest of the community to troll him off of the internet.
You know, and since Huck does a pretty good job at cutting my freedom of speech, you know, since she does a good job at like making sure I can't join her Discord servers without her friends calling me a child groomer or a chomo, or her friends doxing my dead grandmother or my mom or something. You know, I can't just join her chat. I can't just show up there. I'm the one person in Huck's chat that actually is blocked under certain like accounts that I have. And they're not even stalks, which means she'll even intentionally go in her block list, even say she unblocks people, say she's not gatekeeping, and intentionally skip over my fucking name. Now, if she's so fucking trustworthy, why the fuck does she do that? Why does she care about little old me, a fucking bum? And she'll skip right past my name on the block list, but she'll unblock everybody else. Every fucking buddy else. Tell me she's not fucking playing some sort of game. Go ahead. I'm telling you she is.
Only 9 people watching?
Like, dude, like, and I said it earlier. I was like, I'll stick up for Sweet any day, and I still stick up for Sweet. I got Sweet's best interest, and I'm telling you, motherfuckers, like, I don't trust Huck. I do not like Huck. I will stick up for Sweet. I will not stick up for Huck.
Brian, do you realize he probably can't pick up a dictionary? They tend to be heavy.
Fucking do this to us anymore. Belittle us like this while we're being dragged to court over your fucking stupid shit.
This is true. He is being way too generous with half. It's more like this is more like a 98%.
Sue can agree with me or not. I'm telling her these people are setting us up. She doesn't have to agree. Like I still support her. I still hope she wins because
I'm gonna mute him a little bit from time to time. I love this. He's still going to support her. Rebel, does that mean you're going to give her donations? Does that mean you are going to financially enrich her life? No? Then you're not supporting her, buddy. Not in the least little bit. Not by your definitions.
And pretending like they give a shit. You know, like they've been doing for the past few years. Because I'll tell you, like Sweet has still supported me more than those motherfuckers have throughout the past few years anyway. Like it's just like I should have been able to tell
Brian?
Who I could have trusted
by giving
just by who
money.
Supported me anyway. Because those people weren't really supporting me like they say they were. Sweet was supporting me. If anything, Sweet was maybe someone who helped me out to get like weed and bud and stuff like that throughout the past few years.
Oh, there you go.
Like, I don't remember Huck ever helping
we all
me out to
know
get
anyways.
weed. The most she gave me throughout the past 3 years has been like $50. Like she hasn't given anything more. That she's never given me over $100 on Cash App or donations or anything like that. Like so when she plays this fucking game, like she's in control of the donations and stuff. Like she does. No, she's not. And she's a liar when she says she's not getting donations from Bedtime Clown. And I know she is because she would have called the motherfucker out by now if she wasn't. She wouldn't just allow him in his chat. Like she wouldn't play this fucking, I don't gatekeep game. But then she'll do it to everybody else who talks shit to her. Like I'll talk shit to Huck. I'll talk shit and I won't even dox her and she'll block me in her fucking chat. But then she'll say that she's gatekeeping if she blocks somebody who's from Andrew's side or Tonic's side or AC's side. But then she'll have no problem blocking me, though. She's full of shit. She's a fucking fraud. She blocked me on every single one of my fucking accounts. All of them.
She likes to fuck with you, Rebel. What do you want? I mean, you are an LOL cow who hates being fucked with.
Granted, I still want to point out that she still had, like, whether she has something to do with We the People Tyrant War or not, Huck, like, they still have my information up on their fucking website. And I know it's not Sweet, because Sweet would have cared enough to take it down if it was her. And I know it's not her. So whoever the fuck is connected or responsible for that We the People Tyrant War shit, it's not Sweet as Sugar. But whoever the fuck it is, Huck knows what the fuck is going on. And she don't give a fuck.
Why would she give a fuck about a loser like you? Oh my god. LOL rat. Yeah, that's true. That needs to become a thing. Moms, that needs to be a thing. LOL rat.
Let me ask We the People Tyrant War this. If they cared about anyone's best interest in this, why leave my information on their website? Like, if I really am thinking about what's best for Sweet, then why would they continue to attack me, though?
Big if.
Like, because the funny thing is, they put my fucking information on that website long before I ever did Sweet wrong. And I always wondered why. Like, this was long before I even did the whole toilet flushing channel stuff and all that stuff, the whole off yourself talk, all that stuff. That was like, they put my information up on that fucking website long before any of it. If anything, it triggered me to react the way I did.
Sounds good.
Why would they do that? Like, think about that. Why would they do that? Why would they put in more effort to canceling me out for the past 3 years than they ever did Liberty Bird? But then they'll sure talk something different, won't they? They sure talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, do they?
Walk the walk. Walk.
He's cooking.
Yeah, yeah. Sketch one. Walk the walk. Oh my god. Must resist urge to be culturally offensive. Exactly, Leroy Jenkins.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Or to Dave.
We the People Tyrant War doesn't care about Truth Finder UK's behavior. Not once have they spoken about that. Sure, he's a tyrant. Sure, he does fucked up shit like the rest of them. Do they care about him? No. They don't focus on him at all, do they? They don't put any information out there saying how he's a tyrant. They don't say how what he's doing is just as wrong as what the rest of them are doing. And by them not, they're doing a great injustice to the rest of everyone else. Like, by them saying that they stand for what's right and then they ignore when someone does the same exact shit as everyone else, that's not doing your due diligence. Like, you are basically a fraud. You're frauding everyone. Like, you're just a piece of shit liar fuck, and you've done more to help Bird and those fucking people than you've ever done anything to help me and Sweet. I can tell you that right now. Like, you have done nothing to help us.
The weed and cigarette money isn't helping.
Like, those videos that they did, they put more effort into getting me and Sweet to turn on each other. And what good did that do me and Sweet, though? Like, by me and Sweet putting more focus and effort into going at each other than we should have put into, like, actually coming together to work together to hold these people accountable, then what good did We the People Tyrant War do if all they did was just basically let Bird and others get away with what they got away with by distracting us? Literally. By them distracting us, they only had enabled people who they were opposing in the first place.
Again, I asked.
And I don't think it's a mistake. They can't be that dumb to just do it, like, out of just, like, coincidence. Like,
have you considered not violating court orders?
Truth Finder just doing what he did was out of coincidence. Him being the reason why Sweet is being dragged to court on Monday, it's just a coincidence, people. It had nothing to do with anything. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, no, It wasn't like they were all working together to set her up. And it's like, but the problem about that is I knew Truthfinder was ready to set somebody up or trying to frame somebody months ago. I could have told people this almost a year ago, and I already knew he was out here trying to set people up. So for people to just like make an excuse saying that, like, you know, Truthfinder meant well. What? No, it didn't. No, it doesn't. Like, even if he striked Katie, and that's even if we know if he did, that's even if we really believe what he says. I mean, it still doesn't prove anything. He could be helping her out just as much as he's saying he hates her. It doesn't mean anything. Like, she could be pawning off her docs information on purpose just to lure people in into copping charges. How the fuck do you guys know? You know, like, don't be surprised if these people intentionally put their information out there just to frame people so that they can get people.
Time out. Did he just lay out what he did with his own family? With Katie? Did he just do that? Interesting. Doxed himself to get more attention. So now he's accusing Katie of doxing herself by working with Truthfinder to get more attention. Interesting. Oops.
Going to Hotmail. Yeah, full of shit. You're fucking garbage. Just like you didn't know how to swat Pauly Crispy or call the FBI on him and shit. You're a fucking liar. And the people who believe this son of a bitch, you're just as bad.
Sounds like he actually cares.
Wow.
Dude, like, wasn't Truthfinder on a panel with Bird just the other day interrogating somebody together with like Bird? Like, weren't they just on some panel together going at somebody? Like, you know, it's like, how is it that Truthfinder UK and Liberty Bird can be on a panel together, not go at each other, skip going at each other to go at somebody else, regardless of who that somebody is? It still doesn't explain how exactly Bird and Truthfinder had just decided, you know what, we're not going to go at each other in this panel. We're gonna focus our attention on this other fucking guy. The fuck is that? Well, I mean, yeah, okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's what the fuck that is. That's like me and Brett going up on a panel and ignoring going at each other just so that we can shit on Lawless or something. Like, what? No, motherfucker, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. I ain't fucking shaking that motherfucker's hand. If I got up on a panel with Brett, I'm gonna shit on him. I'm gonna shit right on him, motherfucker.
You won't
I'm not
go
gonna
on
skip
a
right
panel
past him and shit on some fucking motherfucker below him. Hell no. And if I see somebody doing that shit, like Truthfinder, you're a fucking fraud. You ain't nothing but a fucking lying ass piece of shit fraud. You set my friend Sweet as Sugar up, you piece of shit.
You won't even come on my panel. Frankly, I'm surprised he let me up that one day.
My name was
That was good, actually. Taking questions.
You too, Huck.
Richard Cheese's chat. Ask him on his own.
Just went up on Bird's panel last night. You were just in his chat yesterday with a wrench, saying what's up in his chat, sharing your love and support to the same fucker who tried to fuck with my legal affairs and then threatened to put an HO on me. Try to get information for Bird, try to set me up so he could fuck up my trial. And this same motherfucker, you're still hanging out in this chat with the wrench over there. And that same motherfucker, not even 30 minutes later, jumped on Bird's panel to entertain his fucking bullshit. And you're going to tell me you're not setting me and Sweet as Sugar up? You fucking lying ass piece of shit.
Connie, this is boring. Ugh, God.
You know, and the thing is like, I know that Rick Crude ain't got no spine. So I know he'll take money, small little bribes, and do what people tell him to do, like Bedtime Clown or others, Bird, Tonic even, Chicky Katie. I damn well know if anyone's throwing him money like them, he's going to take it. He's going to do what these people tell him to do. That's just a fact. Just like Poor Dirt Farmer. He's the same fucking way. And any one of them. A lot of these people are people that Sweet has known for years.
This is actually not true, y'all. I gave Rick Crude $20, like in the late summer or early fall last year, because I was talking to him about burritos, and I asked him if they had a Freebirds down there in Houston, and he said they did. That he had never been there because we were talking about like Chipotle burritos or something like that, and he was talking raving about them, and I said, no, dude, you need to try Freebirds. So I sent him either 20 or $25. It may have even been 30. I can't remember. I'd have to look back. But I sent him enough to definitely get like a loaded fucking whatever. And I even put on the fucking Cash App for Freebirds for you to try Freebirds to review. Thanks. Motherfucker went to some, I don't even know what he spent the money on, but he didn't spend it on Freebirds. So Rick Rude does not fucking do what you tell him to do with money that you give him. Just saying. Rebel.
any pain is by going, oh, well, I don't take any donations. It's just by ignoring it. By
No, he's not in the
like
hospital.
lying and saying that she doesn't have any donations from people, doesn't get any donations from people. By lying, it'll make her feel like she didn't do anything wrong at all.
Brian,
right, Huck?
you're in the sweet.
Just like when you allow Birds and ACs and Andrew's people to squander in your fucking chat, your only excuse you have to make is, well, I just don't gatekeep. And when you say that, you excuse yourself from any wrong. You absolve yourself from any wrongdoing at all. You wash your hands clean like the blood of Jesus, forgiving you of your sins.
I don't know what that is. Like, what part of the country or race or dialect is that?
And so, Bird, he's a very calculative motherfucker. I wouldn't even be surprised if him and Huck planned this video that he showed of Huck being stalked on purpose, just so that if anyone ever questions Huck's participation with his fucking shit, they won't, because then they're going to see, wait a minute, but Huck is a target. But Huck is a victim. And so sometimes he'll intentionally go at people, like how we did with Navin and Katie, and how he said, I have an issue with Navin from years ago, back in Beware Mouse. And if you notice, though, like all of a sudden Navin and him are close. Him and Katie are pretty tight. It almost was like he said that just so that he would relieve anyone from thinking that he had any connection to her. Isn't that interesting? It's almost the same thing that I see going on with Huck. It's like, wow, like he'll pull up a clip or something to, virtue signal, make it look like something's happening when it's really not, let's say, and Huck does this shit too. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? This happened to me. This did. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're pointing at it. You're focusing in on it, but if you weren't, no one would notice. But there's a reason why you're focusing in on it, isn't there? It's so that you get nobody to question it. I get it. It's the same game cops
not
play,
even donos, bro.
Or criminals play when they want to manipulate people into believing them. It's genius when you really think about it, isn't it? And then it all just leads down to dragging me and Sweet to court year after year. It's a vicious fucking cycle, isn't it?
Stop getting yourself fed into the legal justice system. That's one way to avoid court. Have you thought about that, Rebel? At all?
All the while making it look like me and her set each other up. That is genius.
Diabolical.
The two people who actually supported each other and intended to, and you even attempted to break them, split them apart, and you almost succeeded. Genius. And the way they went about it, my God, these people are calculative as fuck. These are a collective of fucking criminals with criminal minds. These motherfuckers could sell off a fucking diaper to a fucking bank teller with shit on it and all. They are salesmen, mofos. They can sell anything off. They can pawn off a dead leg to a man who needs, leg support. They could pawn off. They could pawn off dirt to a corpse. These people could hustle off a crack rock to a fucking, person who's never touched drugs in their life. They could, like, these people are hustlers. They are nothing but swindlers. They are nothing but car salesmen, cheap fucking car salesmen. They will sell anything off. They will sell salt to a snail. But don't let that kid you. These people are nothing but scum,
Mm,
garbage, trash.
mm.
Right? Like Sweet as Sugar, she's a genuine person. All these other fucking people out here, fucking garbage. They are not genuine. They are fucking liars. And I thought she was the one who was selling me out. Nah, no, it turned out being everyone else the whole fucking time.
My goodness. Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
Because if not, then why are they all being instructed by Andrew, by Ace, by Bird right now to stay away from my channel? Why are they being instructed to not hit the like? I have 33 dislikes, 0
Wait.
likes right now.
Did
How
I-
come all of them are being instructed to take orders and they're all doing the same thing? All of them, from all sides. Huck's side, Andrew's side, Bird's side, Rada's side. Tell me how all those sides have now just taken upon a collective and have all now done the same thing as one another. Like, they all repeat the same thing, like Simon says. If you tell them to put their hands up, Simon says put their hands up, they'll all put their hands up. Simon says put your hands in your pockets, you'll all put your hands in your pockets. Tell me why you all are taking orders like good little dogs then. If you're not helping the same fucking people, you're putting more effort into canceling me out than you ever did canceling Bird or calling Bird out. So what's up with that? Because that's what's happening right now.
You're
And if that's the
thankful,
case,
buddy.
that means that they give 2 fucks about what the hell is going on with Sweet and her situation, because they're putting more effort into canceling out motherfuckers than they are really doing anything to help her. Ain't that right, Huck?
Yeah, no shit, moms.
Like, I'd rather call it out the day before Sweet has to appear at court, because like, it's just we can all see this from a clear perspective. If we all wait till after her court date, Huck can make up some excuse and say, well, no, I was supporting Sweet. Make up some excuse like she was supporting her or something like that. Like, no, I want everyone to notice and focus on how, no, Huck is not supporting Sweet. She's a fucking liar, and we're going to call it out before Sweet goes to court tomorrow. Because that's what the fuck is going on. No, it is. And I've known it's been the case for a long time. For about 2 fucking years, I've seen this fucking shit happen. And Huck's been behind mostly all of it. No, I'm telling you, this fucking bitch is setting us up.
So isn't it true that Sweet's court business is none of Huck's business? Isn't that true? I mean, really?
I don't know who the fuck is paying her. I don't know who she's helping out here, but she's doing something shady. And it's definitely not helping me. And it's not helping Sweet as Sugar, obviously. So what the fuck are you doing, bitch?
She's probably eating breakfast or.
Remember, this is the same one who took instructions from
Fuck no.
Steph at one point when Huck and Tonic were together. Like, and just remember that it would take a psychopath to even meet up with someone like Tonic in the first place. She knew about what he was like before she met up with him. It's not like she didn't know what the fucker was like. Meaning she saw what he was like on here, saw how he lied to people, saw how he lied about his mother fucking passing away, all that shit, heard all of it.
She's
and still
extremely
decided to
busy
meet
not
up with the
supporting
motherfucker.
Sweets.
No, you can't take her fucking word for shit. She's a fucking liar, you motherfuckers, for even thinking that she's out here helping anybody. I'm telling you, she's setting motherfuckers up. I don't give a shit. I will stick up for Sweet. I do have her fucking back, but I will not let Huck just destroy our fucking friendship again. Fuck you, Huck.
Moms, that could be true. I have no idea. I'm not in Discord, so I don't care. I mean, I'll tell
Me
you
and
this.
Sweet were friends before you ever came along, you fucking bitch. I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't even know what the fuck you were. Like, what the fuck did you even? You came.
I'll tell you this. Get a court order on me for whatever, and I will not violate said court order. That's all I know. It's really that simple.
Pawn hanging out with ERR videos and shit, hanging out with fucking Nemesis. He was just on Bird's panel last night, you fucking lying bitch. What the fuck is your game in this? And then to say that you're not gatekeeping, that's just your excuse so no one questions you. What the fuck are you doing to me and my friend?
I thought you knew what she was doing, Rebel. What? What? And how is this going to bring you any money, buddy? Because it doesn't seem to be working. You
If you
need
cared
to.
so much about Sweet, how come you never helped her out with legal fees? How come you never bothered to help her get an attorney? You're a fucking fraud. You're a lying ass fucking piece of shit. You brag about having all this fucking shit. You never even fucking lift a fucking pinky finger to help her out. You're a fucking liar.
How come Sweet never got you an attorney, Rebel? Why is that?
When that dude
We're
Evil
waiting.
Ghost first started streaming about me, calling me a groomer and all this shit with this 100 or plus whatever audience and shit, Huck that same day showed up in his chat. She was in his chat while everybody else was. Roz, all these other people, Brian King. She was in his chat, right? I kid you not, when she went live that same day, not even but like 2-3 hours later, and she was in her chat, one of the first things she put in her chat was that evil ghost emoji, the one that he uses for his channel name. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe that's just a coincidence. But then somebody else in her chat did it too. And then something rang in my head and said, wait a minute, she fucking set me up. She knows about this evil ghost guy doing that, and she's okay with it. She doesn't care that he's slandering me, lying about me, saying all this defamatory shit with his audience of over 100 people. She's up in her fucking chat using his fucking emoji and mocking me with it. Meanwhile, Sweet as Sugar's in that same fucking chat supporting this fucking bitch. And I'm thinking that Sweet was setting me up. No, I think that Sweet didn't even know any better, and you've been setting her up. Because I don't think she's been setting me up. I got her fucking back, and I think you're a lying fucking bitch, Huck.
If he
I
ever
think you've been setting us up for years.
Yeah.
I've had the suspicions. I suspected it for a long fucking time, and now I fucking know.
We need Ellen to come in the room. Just burst in there pissed off that he hasn't fixed the coffee table or painted the bathroom or cleaned their dish. What else?
I even overheard the petty reason as to why Golden Eyes doesn't like Huck.
Maybe there's like a dead.
Because I was in the voice chat with these people in their VC just about a couple of weeks ago, whatever. And Golden Eyes explains what her reasoning for having issues with Huck. And apparently it was when Sonic and Huck were still together in VC at one point, and it was just some stupid misunderstanding between what they both said to each other or something like that. And then Golden Eyes went on to continue and said that, but she doesn't really have issues with Huck, though. So then what is it? Because I know that Golden Eyes has issues with my friend Sweet. And if Golden Eyes doesn't have issues with Huck, and all it really was over some petty-ass misunderstanding in Discord that wasn't really even that serious anyway, and it was really when Huck was with Tonic, that doesn't tell me that Golden Eyes isn't friends or helping people like Huck in the first place. It tells me that there's people out here setting fucking people up. That's what the fuck it tells me. Because if they don't have issues with each other, and I know that Sweet as Sugar and Golden Eyes have issues with each other, then what the fuck is really going on, motherfucker?
Rebel, it sounds to me like what's going on is an internet supposedly man child, definitely a child, is desperate to get high. Your blood sugar is out of balance. I don't know which way it goes, high or low. You're probably malnourished. You aren't thinking clearly. You're spouting off a bunch of babbling on, as Mom's so eloquently put it in my chat, not yours, since none of us can go chat over there. Yeah, all that's just going a long way to say you're a fucking spurged out retard, buddy. That's what's going on. That's what the fuck is going on. Everybody else is pointing and laughing at you via the internet on YouTube's platform. For us, the sun is up, the birds are chirping, the fire pit is warm. We're drinking our coffee, smoking our cigarettes, extremely satisfied and laughing at you. People in the chat seem to be just fine and content by pointing and laughing at you. Is anybody even in your chat, buddy? Let me see. Hang on. Is there any approved users? No, there's not. My God. This is it, guys. This is it. It's just like fucking A. What the fuck is actually going on? I do wonder though if Ellen is going to actually do anything for him for his birthday. Costa, go take a bath so we can go get some weed. It's the end of the month. Are they broke, or did she? Is Bubs in here? I don't see him. Where's he at? Bubs. I don't see Bubs. Where the? Oh, there he is. Hey, Bubs. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Anyways, oh fuck. What a clusterfuck. That's not a clusterfuck. That's just a retard. Whining and crying. It's amazing. I don't know, y'all. I know it's been a few hours thus far. Let's see. In honor of Kanzi's birthday, I sent him a can of Alpo dog food left over from 1975 for him to eat, and will be letting my dog eat a ribeye steak. You know, Mom, sadly, that can of Alpo from 1975 probably had no expiration date and is probably still good. She'll overdraft her debit account some more to get him more weed on credit for his birthday. Shit. Me personally, I think she should boot him out of the apartment and celebrate his birthday by herself alone with a bottle of Jack Daniels. Thinking baths, I need a shower. Let's see. Did you read his banner? Let me look. Hang on, let me go see what it says.
Truthfinder, get this. When he comes on my stream at one point the other day when I got no donations from any of them, right? Guess what he does? He undermines and fucking pulls up Katie's mom and dad's image on my stream without even asking me, you know, and then like acts like it's a fucking favor for me. Oh, that no, he asked me after he does it or some shit like that, whatever, or while he's doing it, you know. And then I'm thinking about, I'm like, wait a minute, like,
Burn, Roscon, BFK, and Bedtime Clown.
He's not even saying anything
ruin
on
my birthday.
He's basically doing the same shit AC or Tonic or Andrew does when they pull up somebody's fucking private information or somebody's docs image or somebody's family's images, you know, on somebody else's stream to use it as leverage so that they don't get held accountable. You know, unless it happens on their own stream, like they're doing it to basically frame a motherfucker. Like he's doing it so that he can set me up. That's why he did it. Yeah. That's the only incentive as to why Truthfinder did it on my stream. He wasn't doing it because he respected me. He wasn't doing it just to get back at Katie only on my stream. He was doing it to try to set me the fuck up, just like he was trying to do to Sweet. And then the moment I questioned it, what does he do? I thought we were friends, Rebel, or blah, 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 Rebel, in it. I thought we were friends. Like, I've never been your friend. And so if he makes up this shit saying that we were even friends, I know that's not true right there because he barely ever comes around, though. Like, this guy, he goes around people like birds and shit and other.
Okay, so you guys, I'm about to end this. I'm sorry. I know this is This guy is he's really blowing it up today. Because I got stuff I want to do. Uh, First off, yes, I do. I appreciate you all being here and chatting with me and keeping us company this morning. It's been fun. But I do have a question. Okay. And maybe y'all know, and maybe you don't. And either way is fine. But I didn't bother doing any research months ago when Truthfinder's name first got put out there. And he spent, from what little bit I've heard over the past few months or however long it's been, I've heard him say, oh, that's not really him. It's a fake dox, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, when that screenshot got put up the other day of that name again, I was out. It was before I went to work. I don't remember, either Thursday or Friday morning, maybe Thursday morning. So I was on my laptop out here drinking a cup of coffee and smoking a cigarette before I get ready for work. I thought, well, let me actually do a Google search on this shit. And I found the famous cricket player that shares the same name, and a couple of other. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not going to go check Facebook profiles or any bullshit like that. I'm really not that invested, but there was something of interest that did pop up to me, and it was an official. I can't quote it now. I guess I could pull it up in my history, but I really don't feel like it. But it was an official UK government site that's tied to that name that isn't that famous cricket player. Yeah, exactly, moms. Exactly. And what it shows on what it shows in that on those documents, there's a bunch of PDFs tied to these two companies that are tied to that name. And there's a specific birth date that would put one of the people at 46 years old. They would have just turned 46. And there's two specific addresses tied to that name and those two company names. Now, for lack of proper terminology and definitions in UK speak, UK government site speak, it's basically the equivalent of what would be over here in the States is a company is arrears. These two companies are in arrears on their taxes. At least that's the way it seems to me. I haven't dug any further into this. I just kind of glanced over some of the PDF documents on Thursday morning and then went on to work, because when I Google Maps one of the address that is still currently tied to this individual, and that is listed as in arrears with these two businesses, it is a private residence, and it's right across the street from a fucking Pizza Hut, of all things. And I was just curious if anybody, I mean, you don't have to say what you know, or if anybody knew of that shit months ago when this, because I can't imagine that people didn't click on this and find it. It's right there on Google. So I flop back and forth on what Truthfinder's actual age is. But if he's as young as I think he is, and not what I say on Abe's, but he could be 26 years old. He could be 24 years old. And those businesses could belong to his father, because one of them that was started in, I want to say 2013 or 2014, one of the ones that's in arrears, was a sports memorabilia and paraphernalia and I don't know, I guess what would be like a sporting goods store as well. So I was just curious, because he's expressed in the past, I can't remember how long ago it was or whose panel it was on or if it was even on his own, that he had at one point in time wanted to start a business or channel or whatever it was, or a blog about sports and sporting, that he was into all that kind of shit. And so, yeah, I mean, all I know is if there's any merit to any of that, buddy, and I'm talking to you, Truth Finder, you better watch your P's and Q's. You think that some people can't find you and get to you? You're wrong. If that's indeed you and your father, because you can easily get your collar felt, so to speak. You know what I mean? Is anybody in here with a wrench?
What's wrong?
Take care of this. Go away, you fucking faggot motherfucker.
Who is it?
John Hanzo. I don't know about a rat, but you definitely smell a piece of shit. That's for sure. But anyways, I was just curious. I wasn't paying attention to the chat, so I didn't see that little skeevy, nasty motherfucker sneak in here. Banks the paper stack. Yeah, there's our little buddy to join in. Yeah. What kind of wreck? I don't know. Do you maybe want to retype that before I get off here? And maybe I'll address you. Maybe I can help you feel better about yourself on this fine Sunday. But anyways, I was just curious if anybody knew. And like I said, that was a yes or no kind of question. Don't have to say anything, identifying other than Pizza Hut. And when you look at it on Google Maps, the Pizza Hut has its doors tightly shut, which I find kind of ironic. Like right across the street. What kind of wrench? Oh, one of those blue imaginary wrenches. Banks. It's no worries though. I pulled it up and took care of it. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. I also thought it was interesting that I'm sure there's a bunch of, Mohammed people with the similar or same last name all across the world, which Google pretty much says there is. Other than the famous cricket player, 99% of the ones that I found were either doctors, programmers, program managers, CEOs, lawyers, accountants, that kind of thing. Hardly any of them were on Google and had negative financial info so readily available to the average Joe looking up that name. So I did find that interesting. But talk to Bird. Yeah, I'm surely Bird's already found it. Those guys are pretty good at doing what they do. So, and you don't have. It's not like you have to pay a service or anything like that to find it. It's right there on Google. In fact, I think it was on. I believe if you type in that name and you put a space and then you capitalize UK, just capitalize the letter U and the letter K, I believe it's like the third, well, at least the other day, it was the third or fourth result that popped up from the bottom of the page as you scroll down. So, like I said, it's an official UK government and the the website that put that information up is like it looked to me like it was a service that helps people set up businesses and administrate businesses, and
It's probably where they license.
it's probably a what?
Where they license.
Yes, yes, because they did. They had a like they all of the info on the two businesses that this site had put up was like their license, like their information, the the Mohammed guy's information that he gave to them to file with the government, and it was also the dissolution paperwork and that kind of stuff after the government said, "Hey, you owe us money." And all of that stuff. So I mean, it's official government documents and shit. But I'd find it hard to believe that like Bird and Steph and all of them haven't already seen this stuff on him or on that person. But yeah, I found that interesting. So let's see. It's a border. Hold up, I'm gonna get rid of this. Uh, Yeah, stand with Texas. Listen, that whole fucking thing, that's all a ruse, okay? I don't know if you're in Texas, adjust your focus, but I can't stand Greg Abbott. I do want to say this on my live stream because they censored the fuck out of my comments on some other videos. Greg Abbott should be ashamed of himself. Uh, and people that are buying into this, he cares about the border bullshit, y'all need to wake the fuck up, whoever you are. Because who in their right mind actually gives a fuck about border security by busing illegal immigrants further into the fucking country? Huh? Make that make sense. You're spending uh, business owners' tax money in the state of Texas and federal tax dollars to push illegal immigrants further into the country, into sanctuary cities, no less, where you know and have known for the past 45 to 60 years. Let's just call it 52 and a half to be safe, right? That they'll be safe. Safe meaning they won't have to provide hardly any documentation. They can go wherever they want, unfettered from there. Los Angeles, Chicago, New York City, Washington, D.C., right? Come on, y'all. That's a bunch of bullshit. Imagine how much money they could have saved had they just turned them right around and bust them south. So there, YouTube. Take me down for that, for speaking the fucking truth. That guy is a fucking piece of shit. He's just as big of a piece of shit as that fucking mayor up in Chicago who's got a problem with Greg Abbott saying, "Oh, I'm having panic attacks because of the fucking influx of illegal immigrants in the city and blah, blah, blah." Motherfucker, where you been your whole fucking life? Now all of a sudden you got a problem with it? See, I think that motherfucker's having panic attacks because his life and his family's lives are being threatened because he can't calm the media storm down about their human trafficking activities. That's what his panic attacks are about. So, to that, I say they can kiss my ass and they can delete this fucking live stream and take me down if they want to, but that's the goddamn truth. Greg Abbott is a lying piece of shit. And he's the fucking reason that people would actually send bricks to the Texas house through the fucking mail. What's bullshit is illegals getting more benefits from our government than U.S. citizens. Yep. Trump 2024. Yes, sir. Yeah, I thought I was shutting down too, but I had to get that out of my system. I forgot about that. I had a lot more to say, but the other day, and I said it like 5 different ways on 2 different channels that are like, yeah, go Greg Abbott, blah blah blah, and it was like either this motherfucker's got keywords blocked, or YouTube is not allowing me to say what I want to say, and either way, it's propagandized bullshit, and Greg Abbott needs to be exposed for the piece of shit that he really is. And there's a lot of exposés on Greg Abbott. It doesn't matter, I'm but a drop in the bucket. But this ruse that somehow he deserves a pat on his fucking stupid, pathetic back for busing illegal immigrants further into the country is absolute bullshit. If it were up to me, those buses would have been sent south as far as their tanks of fuel would send them, and Greg Abbott would have been tied in his wheelchair to the top of one of them to fend his way back through some of the most desolate, desperate parts of Mexico if he were to ever make it back to the States, into which I hope somebody would bend the rear rims on his wheelchair before he got here, because he can go fuck himself. And that's how I feel about him. And I wish we had actual politicians that gave a fuck instead of people in office that want to make Texas the new California, because there's more money in doing that for them than there is for everybody else. And they are ruining what used to be a safe, prosperous, rational state. That's the way I feel about it. So thanks for listening to my me on my soap do nothing box there, Abe. An undocumented illegal immigrant cries amnesty and gets twice as much money every month than a U.S. citizen on disability, pays 40 tax for 40 years. Insane. That's right. And I will say this as someone who has been in the workforce for 35 years. If you are a middle class citizen of this country, no matter your race, and you have worked this entire time, you make less than potentially either one of those people that you're talking about, Brian. And the reason that is, one of the reasons that is because of the flood of illegals that has been going on in this country for the past 30, 40 years. Because everybody knows business owners have but one incentive, right, to pay these people less money, and that's because they're cheaper, right? You don't get the same work for the same money, but that doesn't matter because they're cheaper, right? So that's one of the reasons. And then as far as the people on disability go, for somebody like Connie or Ellen, that's complete fucking horseshit that they should even get anything really, in my opinion. But I think out of the two, the only one that has any kind of legitimacy to her plight is Ellen. But for people that have worked or been veterans or whatever and are on disability, to me, the people that are still in the workforce funding that should not be devalued to the point that they are basically living on a disability wage. So, yeah, it ain't right. Communism doesn't work. It causes problems. Best way I can put it right now, because it just makes me so fucking mad. Yeah, well, and then you have right, and then you have major news outlets who basically throw their hands up in the air and say, "What border crisis? Where is this border crisis?" Like, well, have you been to anywhere Texas along the border lately? What do you mean, what border crisis? Fucking idiots. But you know what's fucked up is, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it as many times as I can until they take me off. But the Biden administration and administrations before his have been all about human trafficking. That's exactly what's going on. So if you want to blame anybody, blame the government, and not just our government. There's many governments around the world that have done this over, many centuries, right? In some form or fashion or the other. But you can blame, in my opinion, and sorry if this chafes some people the wrong fucking way. Honey, I hope you're not listening. She's not in the room right now. But you can blame, well, let me put it this way. You can blame a church and you can blame a government. So there, I said it. They love to peddle their slaves. Anyway, with that, I bid you all adieu. And Rebel, I hope you have the unhappiest of birthdays, and may every birthday that you have from here on out suck an even bigger, fatter donkey dick. Later, y'all.